How you doing? This is Coach DeCarlo, and today we're going to talk about you are your business. Now, who am I? I'm actually spiritual life coach, intuitive coach, and what I do is help businesses go from where they are to where they want to be. I've helped my clients over the last 25 years gross literally hundreds of millions of dollars, and I'm being conservative. But how does that help you? Well, what we want to do is talk about some things that will allow you to take whatever it is that you're doing to the next level, and you are your business. So let's talk about this. Every one of us, no matter what we're doing or who we're working for, we have to understand that we're self-employed. Now you say, well, no, I'm working a job. I'm not self-employed. No, you're actually self-employed. Even if you're working a job, that job hires you for a service that you provide. So the you that's providing that service is the business under the umbrella of that job. So first and foremost, you're self-employed. Each and every one of us, we're in the service industry. No matter what you do, you're in the service industry. You're servicing someone. So in servicing someone, they pay you for the services that you provide. So whether you're working online, whether you're working in fast food, if you're working at Walmart, you're servicing someone. So you're self-employed, you're servicing someone, and lastly, you're in sales. Every one of you, whether you want to be in sales or not, you're in sales. So what do I mean by that? If you're on somebody's front line, if you're manning someone's phone, you represent that company. So for the client that's coming in to that business, they're seeing you. They're hearing you. They're talking to you. You're the one. You could be bagging things in the back stock room, but you're still servicing that customer. So if you're not doing a great job in bagging in the back stock room, of course, the end user, the client, is going to receive your poor service. So again, each and every one of us, we're self-employed, we're in the service industry, and we're all in sales. No matter what you're doing, you're selling something, even if your client is your employer, and that's the one that you're servicing. So let me tell you about a story. Jesus tells this parable, and the parable is this. There's this wealthy businessman. He's going to go on a trip. So he tells his employees, he said, listen, I'm about ready to go on a trip, but I need you guys to man the business while I'm gone. And he gave each one a talent based off of that individual's gifts and abilities. So one, he gave 5 talents. Another, he gave 2 talents. And another, he gave 1 talent. And again, each one was given talents based off of their own skills and abilities. So he goes away and he does this trip, and each person is doing their thing. And so the wealthy business owner returns. And the person that he gave the 5 talents to, he says, sir, I went out and I generated some more business. And what I did with those 5 talents, those 5 businesses that you gave me, I basically created 5 more businesses. So now collectively, I got 10 businesses basically serving you at this moment. He said, great. Now what I'm going to do is promote you over a larger portion of the company. Another one comes along. He says, sir, the 2 businesses that you gave me, the 2 talents that you gave me, what I've done is taken those 2 businesses, and what I've done was multiplied them, and now I've created 4 new businesses. I took those ideas and multiplied them and created 4 new businesses. He says, great. Now what I'm going to do is give you another portion of the company. It's not as big as the other ones, but it's going to be nice enough for you to basically sustain your life for the rest of your life. So the last business owner comes. He says, listen, sir, I knew that you were a hard man, and I knew that how you conducted business. So what I pretty much set on the business, and I didn't do anything. And basically, I was just waiting on you to come back and basically start business from there. He said, listen, you know how I run business. You know how I conduct business on a daily basis. And so you should have conducted business like I conducted business. And so since you haven't done what you need to do about the business that I've given you to operate, I'm going to take that business and give it to the one who has the 10 businesses. Now, many of us will say, well, that's unfair. Why would he give it to the one? And the scripture goes on to say, listen, to him who has, more shall be given. But to him who has not, even that which he has will be taken away and given to another. When you're operating your business, whatever you're doing, and like I said, no matter what you're doing in life, right now as a student, your business may be school. So right now, that's the thing that you need to be focusing on and giving your attention to. So whatever it is that you're doing right now, creators, you need to be giving it your all. You need to be saying, how can I provide the best possible service with what it is that I'm doing right now? like I said, we're all self-employed. We're all in the service industry, no matter what we're doing. And we're all in the business of sales. No matter what we're doing, we're all selling ourselves, because even if we're working for an employer, she will not hire us if we can't bring what it is that they need to multiply their business. And like I said, over a course of 25 years, I've created hundreds of millions of dollars for my own employers and my own clients. So how did I do that? Well, first and foremost, I started off with nothing. And in starting off with nothing, I had to begin to assess getting skill sets that would allow me to multiply what it was that I knew. I was talking to a client recently, and she says, listen, I'm working all day and I get off at 8 o'clock, but you know what? I want to start having multiple streams of income. Now, if you're looking at having multiple streams of income, what you have to do is begin finding yourself open to new opportunities, because more than likely, the multiple streams of income won't come into or from your current occupation, because if it was possible, you would have already begun creating those multiple streams of income. So first and foremost, begin seeing yourself occupying and being able to create multiple streams of income. See, everything starts in the mind first. And I know that for some of you that's going to sound wild and crazy, but everything starts in the mind first. So if you want to be one who creates multiple streams of income, see yourself as one who creates multiple streams of income. Don't worry about the how. Some of you are saying, well, Coach DeCarlo, I don't know how I'm going to create multiple streams of income. That's not your business. And that's not where you're at this moment. First and foremost, you have to occupy what we call occupying the state. You have to begin acting, living as being the person who can create multiple streams of income. So start there. Just see yourself potentially creating multiple streams of income. See it as possible. So we start there and we see that multiple streams of income is possible. And in seeing multiple streams of income as being possible, what's going to happen is opportunities are going to be presented to you. Now, you may come into knowledge of an online business. Somebody may say, listen, I got some opportunity that, you can work overnight, and I need some people I know that I can trust you. And because I can trust you, are you interested in this opportunity? As we begin putting our feelers out there, when we begin sensing what it is that we desire to do, opportunities are going to present themselves to us. But that's not going to happen until we begin to occupy the state of being someone who can create multiple streams of income. So as the opportunities begin to present themselves to you, then you begin assessing those opportunities and seeing which one's best for you. I was talking to a coaching client recently, and one of the things, he's also a coach. And one of the dilemmas that he had as being a coach was, many times people don't think that they need to be getting paid for their services, or they can't find the value in their services, even though those services are very valuable. This particular client of mine had helped a client of his create $11 million business, and yet he's still trying to find value. Until you get that mental block removed, begin occupying the state of seeing yourself as a person who can create wealth. First and foremost, you have to get into a wealth mindset. Now, you say, well, Coach, I don't have any money. How do I get into a wealth mindset? Well, you simply get into a wealth mindset by beginning to see yourself as wealthy. Now, you say, well, I don't have any money. How do I see myself as wealthy? You do that by gratitude. You begin finding yourself thankful for what you already have. Many of us have so many gifts and talents, but we're so close to them that we don't realize what we have. So as we begin assessing our gifts and our talents, we begin practicing gratitude. A person can come, let's say from India, for example, to the United States penniless, but only thing he or she has is an ideal. In a number of years, let's say 2 or 3 years, this person's a multimillionaire. Why? Because he or she implemented the ideals that they had. It doesn't take money, as many would say, to start money. There's so many tools online today that are almost virtually free. You can start a business with little to no money down online by just sharing your knowledge and people being willing to pay for that knowledge. Even if you don't have knowledge, you can get knowledge and then make it your own and begin teaching from your own experience. And of course, people will be willing to pay you for that. So, like I said, a person can come from anywhere in the world, come to the United States penniless, but just come with an ideal, and over a few years' time, they can become multimillionaires. Money is not the issue. Mindset is. When you begin shifting your mindset, then you begin opening up the opportunities for more abundance. When I made a move from California to Atlanta, Georgia, I was basically making, at my first job in Atlanta, $6 an hour. So how did I go from making $6 an hour to well over $100,000 a year? Mindset. Now, this didn't happen overnight, so I don't want to give the impression that this happened overnight. But what happened was I began fine-tuning the skills that I learned. And I basically built upon those skill sets, went to the next company, began building upon those skill sets. Now, one of the things that I'll say is I always took value to my company. And what do I mean by that? Whether it be a company or a client, I was always open to learning and then implementing what it was that I learned. I always take value to whatever it is that I'm doing. Likewise with you creators, no matter what you're doing, if you're serving an employer, if you have your own business, bring value, bring gratitude to the table. Now, many of you, I just talked earlier about the gifts of the talents. Some of you would say, well, Coach, I don't have any talents. Nonsense. Each one of us has at least 6 talents that we can share with the world. Now, how do I share those talents? Well, let's talk about them first and foremost, the talents. First and foremost, the first talent that we all have are talents, skills and abilities that we have. Even if the skills and abilities is simply making somebody laugh, there are people who are multimillionaires because they've learned the art of making someone else laugh. People, as critics, watch TV and they talk about the programs and what they liked about the program and what they didn't like about the program, and they're making multiple millions of dollars. There's nothing that you can think of that somebody's not getting paid for. You say, well, I like sleeping. Somebody's getting paid to sleep. They're doing sleep tests and they're being measured, they're being monitored. There's literally nothing that you can think of that somebody's not getting paid for. So let's throw that out the window. Every one of us has at least one talent, but we're going to talk about more of the talents. So now what else do we have? Every one of us has influence. Every one of us has influence over somebody. And what do I mean by that? You may have a sibling, you may have a cousin, you may have a friend, and you influence them. You say, man, did you watch that program last night? No, I missed it, but it was great. So now they're watching the program based off of your influence and telling them to watch the program. Every one of us has a certain amount of money that will pass through our hands. Some of us will be dealing with millions of dollars, some of us thousands of dollars in a lifetime. It doesn't matter. But that money is energy that can be used and utilized to create more money. So no matter how much money you have, it may be that I have only $5, so I'm able to buy this ebook. I absorb the ebook and start telling everybody what it was that I learned in an ebook and create a course. And like I said, there's free platforms that you can use like YouTube, like Facebook, like TikTok. You can use these free platforms and begin sharing your message. You share your message over and over again, what you're going to discover is your audience. So every one of us has a certain amount of money that will pass through our hands. The other talent is energy. Every one of us has a certain amount of energy that we will expend throughout this lifetime. We call that energy life. What we do with that energy, that's up to us. But we all have the talent of energy. We also have the talent of time. Every one of us has a certain amount of time, like energy. And what's the difference? Time is that from being born to the time that we die. Energy is the energy that's used in living that life. So you have a certain amount of energy, you have a certain amount of time. The last talent that every one of us has is opportunities. Each one of us has a certain amount of opportunities that will come in and out of our lives continuously until we make the transition from this life to the next one. But we all have opportunities. And somebody will say, well, Coach, I don't have any opportunities. Not so. Now, just because you haven't taken or don't take advantage of those opportunities, you have the opportunities. And like I said, the opportunity may be you getting on a vehicle such as Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and begin sharing your message or making somebody laugh or entertain them with a funny video. You say, well, I don't know how to be funny. Watch what other people are doing and mimic what they're doing. And you're going to find yourself with followers simply doing that. So every one of us has gifts and talents that we can utilize. Now, we have to employ those gifts and those talents. Now, what are some of the things that we can do with those gifts and talents? First and foremost, we can waste them. We can say, well, Coach, I don't have anything and I'm not going to do anything, and that's that and that's that, and you're done. You can waste those talents that you have. But the other thing that you can do is you can invest them. You begin investing in yourself through educating yourself and taking yourself further. The wonderful thing is there may be things that you don't know today, but if you make the investment in yourself through time, through money, through energy, you can learn those things. There's really very few things that most of us cannot learn over a course of time. And the wonderful thing is we have so many vehicles, like going to YouTube and watching videos, going on TikTok and watching people dance and so forth and mimicking what it is that they're doing, going out to these various platforms and learning what successful people are doing on those platforms. You can repeat it and do it. That's the wonderful thing. You don't even have to figure out what you need to do to be successful. You just repeat what everybody else is doing, mimic it, and then charge. So we can do that. So we can, like I said, we can waste it, we can invest it, we can save it. So when we're talking about saving, that may be in the form of money, beginning to save your money so that you can build upon that as you get more money and then begin investing that into something that you desire. Lastly, what we can do is exchange. So when we're talking about exchanging, you may have a gift and talent that someone else may not have. And they may need what you have and you need what they have. So collectively, we call that joint venture, but we can do an exchange. You supply me with a particular service, and then I'll supply you with my skills and abilities and service. So creators, there's so much that you're able to do and created to do. See, I like to say that we're actually expressions of God being expressed through 8 billion different people. And you're an individual expression of the divine, and the divine is seeking to live in and through you as you. Now, I know that that's heavy for some of you, but as you begin to understand that the divine spirit, if you're living and breathing, divine spirit is within you, whatever you call that spirit. You may call that spirit me. You may say that it's I. Whatever you call that divine spirit, that energy, that life force that's in you, that's the thing that makes it possible for you to think a thought and begin living that thought. If you can imagine it and you can hold on to it and begin owning that thing in imagination and say, I can do this. I can go back and get my education. I can become an internet marketer. I can become, a coach. I can become an actor, an actress, a singer, whatever it is that you've been designed to be. See, each one of us, we've been equipped to do something. And so when we look at our skills and our abilities and we begin to implement those skills and abilities, we do it in such a way that people begin to like what it is that we're doing. And over time, they're willing to compensate us for offering our skills and our abilities. I've said a lot. So some of you may want to go back and listen to this talk while it's still live, and you can go out there and listen to it and so forth. But for many of you, some of you want to take your life to the next level. You want to do something more. You say, listen, Coach, I would like to contact you. How can I speak with you? If you go to CoachDiCarlo.com, you'll see courses out there that you can actually purchase, but you'll also see a means of contacting me if you need to talk and say, listen, Coach, I feel like I'm stuck. I know that I need to be doing something else, and I just need guidance on how to get started. We can talk about that. It may be that your business is not going where you had hoped that it would go, or right now you're feeling stuck in whatever that business is. Let's talk about that. Again, go to CoachDiCarlo.com And what we'll do is set up a meeting and we'll have a conversation. And in the course of that conversation, what we'll discover is what are those things that are acting as blockages for you. Many times what we believe is that everything that's causing us issues is without. I'm here to say that most of our issues are within. And when we begin to address our thinking, our world also begins to be transformed. This is Coach DeCarlo and saying have a great and abundant day.